guys, welcome back to my channel Rewind That. It's your girl Miss K. So today we're going to be going over the latest episode of Empire called We Got Us. Okay guys, maybe I'm too excited that Kingsley's gone. Is it okay to say, is it safe to say that Kingsley is gone? Okay, or will they bring him back some way, somehow, through some terrible memory or something? I don't know, but I've had it and I really hope that he is gone, okay? Anyway, let's get into this episode, guys. All right, so the episode first starts off with Andre, right? He's dreaming and he hears Lucious playing the piano. And so he gets up and he starts walking toward his family and he's singing Lean on Me. Now, I've always loved the fact that Trey Byers could sing, right? And I kind of wanted them to, some way, somehow, have Andre sing, you know, maybe with the family or whatever. Like, it was just something that I wanted to happen. But anyway, so Andre is singing and he's singing Lean on Me and everything. And the family is sitting around while Lucious plays the piano. And Andre is, you know, doing his thing, singing, okay? And then Teri comes in and she's like, stop! Andre's a monster! So this causes Andre, of course, to wake up out of his dream. And of course, Kingsley is there, right? To get all up in Andre's head, to tell him that your family doesn't love you. Your mother and father, they hate you. They destroyed your life. Because Andre was saying to Kingsley that Kingsley destroyed his life, and Kingsley said, no, your parents destroyed your life, Cookie and Lucious. So of course Kingsley prevails in Andre's head, and Andre goes downstairs and he hears his parents talking to his psychiatrist. So you guys know what happens, right? Andre flips out and he's asking where's his son, where's Teri, and so the guys that are there to take them to the institution, they grab him up and they take him away. All right, so as they're taking him away, Cookie says, Andre, you need help, you know? And Andre says, you need to stop calling me that, mama. Andre is long gone. Call me Kingsley. Ha, 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 ha. You know, just doing his little crazy, menacing laugh. All right. So anyway, the next scene, we have Hakeem and Maya in bed, and they're cuddled up. But they are fully dressed. I do notice that, right? So maybe there was no sex involved. But these two idiots got drunk enough to freaking get married. Like, I would have really loved them to shed a little more light on the details there, because it's kind of like, why in the world did these two get married? Like, what would make them get married? What was that conversation like? You know what I'm saying? And then especially, there looked like there was no sex involved, because like I said, their clothes, they were fully dressed in the bed. Okay, so I kind of was hoping they would have got a little more into detail with that, but they didn't. Okay, so the room service people, they come in and they basically say hi, newlyweds, whatever, and they hand Maya and Hakeem the marriage papers. Okay, and that's proof. And they're like, oh my gosh, no, we did not get married. Yes, y'all did. Okay, so anyway, next we got Lucious, who calls a meeting at Empire, and he tells everyone that Andre is on an extended honeymoon and that he'll be the acting CEO until Andre returns. So Treasure is the only one that got to be like, I'm sorry, didn't Andre's wife leave him at the altar? So Lucious, can you please keep it real for 1 second or 2 seconds, whatever she said? And Lucious said, I am keeping it real, Treasure. And I was glad that Lucious cut her off and said, listen, girl, all right, I am keeping it real. Because honestly, the reason why Andre is away is nobody's business. That is so personal. That's a HIPAA violation, okay? Like, you're not supposed to be telling somebody medical business, or, you know what I'm saying? Like, that is not what's supposed to happen. So even though Andre is in a mental institution, it still falls under that whole HIPAA umbrella where you cannot disclose that type of information. So Treasure really needed to just stay in her place and sing, honey. Like, come on now. Anytime a boss takes a leave or something like that and then someone comes to fill in, it's pretty much we have to just go with the flow. You know what I'm saying? It's really not our business as employees to be trying to get the details of the reason why the boss is not there, as long as the ship continues to stay afloat. And that's basically what Lucious was there to say. He let them know, listen, we're going to continue business as usual. Whatever projects were already in progress. We're going to complete. And I'm not here to deviate from Andre's vision. So get back to work. All right. So next we got Cookie, and she's losing her mind. Okay. She's taking out all of her stress on Becky and all the other staff. You know what I mean? And then because clearly her mind is too consumed with the situation going on with Andre, it's stressing her out. All right. So then Tiana comes in and saying, has Hakeem lost his mind? He got married to her. Okay. So we got that. And now that's another thing on Cookie's plate that she is not trying to hear. So she's like, oh, I can't take it. And she leaves the scene, okay? So next we see Andre at the institution, right? And he's not taking his meds, so we know that spells disaster. But then his grandmother comes in, so we get to see that he's actually in the same institution as his grandmother, okay? And he's like, oh, grandma, you know, he's pretty happy to see her. And he asks her for help because, you know, they feel like there's a common bond, okay? Obviously, they both have mental issues, right? But she's basically saying all these things against Lucious, and now he feels like he has an ally. Like, she's like, oh, I knew that Dwight would put you in here just the way he tried to do me, or something to that effect, right? So Kingsley sees that he has an ally in his grandmother. So he says, help me, okay? And so his grandmother says, I will help you, the grandson that I know. Okay, she says, you're the demon half-breed, the green-eyed monster. Okay, and then she tells him, I know you're in there, Andre. Fight. Okay, and he actually snaps out of it and he says, I can't control him, Grandma. So she says, take your medication before it returns. She tells him that she loves him and his father loves him, even if he never told him enough. But that's my fault, she says. So she basically takes accountability for the reason why Lucious did not show that much love. You know what I mean? And that was big of her. Okay, so then she says, the doctors and meds can help, but you need to fight as well. You gotta want it for yourself. So he promises her that he will fight and he takes the meds, okay? So, you know, like I said, Lucious and Cookie are really struggling with this whole Andre thing. And so Lucious runs to a place that she's been, I guess, avoiding for a whole month now, which is her therapist's office. So she goes back to her therapist, and her therapist is like, girl, I've been leaving you messages and all that stuff. And so Cookie's like, I'm sorry. I need to talk to you. I need your help, okay? So when Cookie sits down, she's basically telling the therapist that she wonders if all of these things would have never happened if she would have stayed home and let Lucious go to prison, right, instead. And so the therapist is like, was that an option? And Cookie is like, yes. If I would have snitched, Lucious would have been the one to go to prison. So the therapist said, okay, let's do an exercise. Let's get specific about how things would have changed if Lucious would have went to prison instead of you. Okay, so now we get this flashback of Lucious's welcome home party, and we see that Bunky is still alive, and we see that Hakeem is a mama's boy, and Andre is actually a drug dealer. So Cookie says, Andre is a drug dealer? I wouldn't have allowed that to happen. And the therapist says, okay, but you got to remember that Andre was an adolescent boy, and a lot of times young men model their father's behavior, and Andre may have felt the need to provide by any means necessary. So the bottom line for the therapist was that she was trying to convey that Lucious going to prison instead wouldn't have made a better outcome. And Cookie needs to understand that she can't control what happens with her children, just like she couldn't stop Jamal from moving to London, or Hakeem getting married, or Andre being committed. So she tells Cookie to stop blaming herself for anything that has happened and focus on the now and make the best decision moving forward. So next we see Kingsley. He gets back into Andre's head and causes Andre to escape, okay? And the next scene we see that Cookie and Lucious are aware that Andre escaped, okay? And I'm telling you guys right now, when Cookie broke down and she was trying to get out the door and Lucious was like, no, don't worry about it. I got it all covered. Just relax. She said, no, I feel like I'm in prison again. I can't do anything. You're telling me that I can't do anything to help my son. Guys, when she said, that's my son, oh my goodness, I felt it in my heart, honey. I felt it in my heart. Okay, because it's like, in a way, I can relate to Cookie in terms of the, you know, the whole having 3 sons. You know what I'm saying? So when she said that, I just felt the mother's desperation and love for her child and not being able to help. Like I said in my video last week, I could imagine, you know, what they were going through as they're watching their kid have this mental breakdown and they couldn't do anything about it. So I could imagine that that was very painful for them to watch. And so when I hear Cookie say, that's my son, and you telling me that I can't help him, there is nobody that I could depend on. I'm going to go out there and I'm going to find my son. If nobody else is going to do it, I'm going to do it. So I totally understood her. Like, I totally felt it because of the motherly love. You know what I'm saying? But listen, Taraji, girl, that's all I could say, girl. I mean, you are doing your thing. Anyway, so Lucious tries to calm Cookie down and he tells her to stop blaming herself. If it's anybody's fault, it's his, since he was the parent that was there. So next, we got Maya, and she's using the lion's last name to pull rank in the studio. Now, I feel like this power is going to go to her head, and she won't agree to the annulment. And then we do kind of see that in the next scene when she overhears Tiana confronting Hakeem about the fact that he got married. And he's like, oh, I didn't think you cared. And she's like, well, I do care. And he said, well, don't worry about it because it's getting annulled anyway. And she said, okay. Right? So then here comes Maya coming out talking about, oh, I don't think that an annulment is best for you and me, hubby. And then she walks away. Like, to be honest, there's always been something about Maya that I never really liked. Like, she seemed like she was the cool girl, but then I always felt something about her that would possibly not work for the Lion family. How about that? Okay. Oh, okay. But let me tell you something though. If she don't sign them annulment papers, Hakeem is rich. Okay. He could find a way to get around that. All right. Like, I've seen people that are not rich. I'm talking about real life. And they got divorces. Forget about annulments. They were able to pay for a divorce. So if people that I know could pay for a divorce, you could pay for an annulment, okay? Or whatever the heck you got to do. You could do whatever you got to do to fix that situation. Now, I'm pretty sure that Hakeem can handle that. Or he could just tell his parents and they can make sure that it goes away. I hope that's how it goes. Anyway, because we don't need this little girl trying to pull no rank. Oh my gosh. And here we go. See, that's the problem now. If they try to use money to make it go away, she could try to blackmail them with the information that she has on Andre. Remember, Andre used her to create a fake story, a fake alibi about that girl who OD'd in the club. Now that could come back to bite them in the behind as well. So that's what I'm talking about. This freaking girl Maya, I'm not sure about. I'm not feeling her. Okay. Like Cookie said, I brought you in my family to help you out. Sign them papers. So next we got Andre, and he finds Teri, right? And she busts him upside the head with a kettle, as she should have. So she runs upstairs and locks herself in the room, and he runs after her, and he's banging on the door like, Teri, let me in, like the freaking big bad wolf, okay? And then Lucious appears, because before that he got a call of Andre's whereabouts, so he knew that Andre was over at Teri's house, okay? Or at least outside of Teri's house. So Lucious ran over there. So Lucious comes to the rescue, and he's saying, son, I know you're in there, okay? Please, you don't want to do this. I know you don't want to hurt your family, okay? I know you don't want to hurt the people you love. And Andre says to him, well, Kingsley says to him, you're a selfish bastard, right? And so Lucious is like, you're right, I am selfish, and you're better than me. You love better than me, you know? So Andre snaps out of it, and he's like, I'm sorry, right? And he runs off. And so Lucious makes sure that the baby and Teri are okay, and then he runs after Andre, okay? Meanwhile, we got Cookie getting a knock at the door, and she opens it, and it's Candace and Carol, and they're over there like, hey, we're here because Lucious told us about Andre, and he said that you needed us. And at first, you know, Cookie, she trying to play hardball, talking about, I don't need y'all, whatever, blah, blah, blah. So when the girls try to turn around, she's like, wait, no, Lucious is right. I do need you guys, okay? So the sisters hug and they make up. And they go sit on the couch. And Cookie tells them that, you know, she was mad at them, but she understands that they were trying to help her, okay? But she does not want her past to cause her to lose her sisters, and she definitely does not want to lose her son. So, you know, Carol was like, don't give up on him, girl. You're not going to lose him. But then Candace comes in and she says, we're going to pray for him, okay? And so Cookie is looking like, what? This is new, okay? And I was definitely here for it, okay? Because I love me some Jesus, okay? So they brought up the prayer. And as they're praying, as Candace is praying with her sisters, we go to the next scene and we see that Andre is at church of all places. Now, you know, Andre, a lot of times, this is where he's going to go back to because remember, he had already started that relationship with God. He started getting into church. So a lot of times, you know, it seems like he tries to get away from it, but he keeps going back to the church or going back to God, right? So as he's there, he's standing over this little, you know, thing of water. I'm not even sure what it's called, right? But I guess it's kind of the water that they use to baptize the babies or for the christening or something like that. Okay, and he's standing over it, and of course Kingsley is getting in his head, but Andre done had enough, okay? He takes Kingsley's imaginary head and dumps it in the water, holds it under there, okay? While he's holding Kingsley's head under there, all these good memories are coming back to him, okay? He's seeing people telling him that they love him. He's seeing his mom saying, I love you. He's seeing the memory of his son being born, and you know, just all of these things, the brothers coming together, them singing Lean on Me in the elevator together or wherever they were, but just a bunch of good memories of people that love him, of the love that he has, of his worth, because Kingsley just told him, you're not worth it, okay? So he lifts Kingsley's head up, okay? Well, of course, first of all, we know that if Kingsley's head is underwater, it's really Andre's head underwater. So Andre's own head is really dumped in this thing. Okay, and when he lifts his head up, obviously it's almost like Kingsley's head is being lifted up as well. And so he looks at Kingsley and he says, you are all the things in me that I thought that I hated. But those are the things that I should have loved. I'm not worthless. You're not worthless, okay? And so he embraces Kingsley. And guess what, guys? That is what it took to send Kingsley packing, okay? Just some love, because love conquers all. Amen. So you got the choir singing and Andre feeling like a brand new man, it seems like, right? You know what I'm saying? It almost seems as if Andre dumping himself in that water was like a purification process for him. So I'm just really hoping, guys, that Kingsley is gone. I don't want to see Kingsley anymore, okay? Andre, get back on your meds. Do what you got to do, honey. But I don't want to see Kingsley no more. I'm tired of him. Now, get that demon Kingsley up out of here, okay? Thank you. Now, Lucious comes in and he and Andre embrace as well, right? And Lucious takes Andre back home to see his mom, and his mom is happy to see him. You know, Cookie embraces him and everything. And, you know, they sit on the couch and she's holding him. She's like, are you hungry? And he's like, no, and all that stuff. So it was just so heartfelt. You know what I'm saying? All this stuff was so heartfelt. All right. And he apologizes to his mom. Andre apologizes to his mom, and she says, you better not. Don't you dare. Don't you apologize. Okay. And so he says, okay, right? And so the whole family is huddled on the couch together, right? And the one thing that they're missing, guys, is Jamal. This is the time when I really miss Jamal. Like, I don't care what nobody say. Yes, Empire is still watchable. It's still good. But I miss Jamal. I miss Jamal. Anyway, so I am still hoping that some freaking way, some freaking how, they'll bring Jamal back. But honestly, when they did that whole flashback, whatever, that scenario switch where if Lucious would have went to prison instead of Cookie, when they didn't have Jamal in that scene, I don't think we're going to get Jamal back ever again, guys. It would be a wonderful surprise, but I just don't think so. Anyway, so that was that, guys. Let me know what y'all thought about this episode. We will see what happens next week. I mean, it's looking like Cookie and Lucious coming together a little bit again. You know what I'm saying? They're going to be having some enemies coming, resurfacing, trying to take down Empire again, which was another thing that was getting old for me. You know what I'm saying? Everybody always coming after Empire. That used to get on my nerves all the daggone time, okay? But we're going to see who it is this time. It looks like it might be some familiar faces that's coming after Empire once again. So we will see. Let me know what you guys thought about this episode. Make sure that you guys like, comment, and subscribe, and hit that notification bell. Thank you so much to my new subscribers. Welcome to my channel. And I just hope that you guys stay for the ride. Also, before I go, if you didn't know, I'm also an author. And this is my book, A Stone Unturned. While you guys are quarantined, check out this book, okay? It's a mystery novel, and I do believe that you would enjoy it, all right? So I will have the link in the description box below, and hopefully, if you guys do read it, let me know what you think, but no spoilers, okay? It's called A Stone Unturned. All right. So anyway, you guys be blessed, be careful, and take care, okay? See you next time. Bye-bye.